So excellent, excellent. So I want to see the actor coming out of you, Michael. There's something inside you that's dying to come out. And I want that to come out. I want that to come out. There's all these techniques that you can put on, but deep down inside, you still got to have something inside. And I know you have it. So it's my job to help you to, bring out a brilliant actor.
This was a good idea going off script because I really can relate to selling an idea. And often salesmen talk fast, they talk really fast because they know what they're talking about, but we have to slow down. So I felt like I had to really slow down and repeat myself when I was conveying to Zero about this painting and why we're actually kind of sell it.
Right. Actually, this role is very good for you, Monsieur Gustave. I like it. I'll find a little bit more material on who he is, and you'll read it. Would you like to bring this character back on? Meaning it could be another scene, but still continuing with Monsieur Gustave.
Yes.
Why don't you try that? Because there's still a lot that you can dig into. There's a lot to dig into. Okay, but very good in the last take, because at least I would like you to direct more energy at Zero and really look into his eyes and really get something out of him. Is like, you negotiate with him. He didn't say a word, and still you're negotiating with him. But I want to see you convincing him. It's almost as if the little boy is looking at you and going like, no. And then you're like, well, why not? Well, 10% of room and board, why don't you, it's almost like you're negotiating. He didn't say a word, right? That's the fun part. Okay. Well done. We will continue with Monsieur Gustave the next week. So you have more time to flush him out.
Yes. Question.
Yes.
You said you mentioned, and I could just be repeating myself, and pardon me ahead of time. You mentioned techniques.
Yes.
Are there additional techniques you're talking about other than using the memory?
Yes. There's quite a few techniques that is used in acting, and one of the major tenets of what I teach is simply the scene objective. Okay? The reason is because if you've got, right now, Monsieur Gustave could say, I want to convince him. I want to negotiate with him. I want him to agree. So which one is it? So, and if you get the right objective, your scene and how you act, how you do in it, you will fly with the material. But if you don't have the right scene objective, it could just be almost there, but no cigar. It's almost like that. So so that's why it'll be for a long time. All I will insist on you is get your scene objective, go after your scene objective until you get it. Okay, so that's one technique. The second technique is also about what you do with your personal self, meaning your costume, your hair, right? The third is tonation of your voice, whether you speak much lower or you speak much higher, and then you practice, or accents. Then sometimes you could use sense memory as a technique, sense memory, which is Stanislavski's technique, sense memory. But that I find that it takes too long. It takes too long to get into it. And from time to time, we do an exercise of sense memory. But I find that a little long to get into it. Is there any way? Because we have to apply all these classical techniques to modern filmmaking. Now, right? And then finally, we will deal with the overall objective. I'm not saying you all have to get all this all at once. Okay? It may take a year and a half. It may take that long. Okay, then after a while, when you're very smooth with the scene objective, now we go into substitution, and many other things. But we will just deal with scene objective for now. If you get that down, you're almost 80% there, believe it or not. And the scene objective, the most important thing about scene objective is not that you just understand it intellectually, or the scene objective is I want to convince zero is a good deal. You have to do I want to convince zero from the moment you start the scene all the way to the end.